Hi guys, welcome to my channel. It's Natasha and today we're going to be doing a story time. So thank you so much for joining me. If you are new here, please subscribe, stick around to the end, listen to this juicy story. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you for subscribing and thank you so much for your support, guys. Please stick around because we're going to have a jolly good time. So yeah, as you can see from the title, this is a story about how I met my husband. So yes, I'm someone's wife now, guys. Well, I have been since April the 27th. So I'm someone's wife now, and yeah, I haven't spoken about it on my channel, so I decided why not? It's about time. It's overdue by months. Yeah, so that's what we're going to be talking about. So I am Mrs. K, someone's wife. Like, it's still sinking in that I have a husband now, but yeah, let's get right into the story. I have my water with me, so don't mind me when I take some sips of my water, guys. It's really hot and I have to keep the windows closed because the wind is like blowing really, is it strong or loud, or I don't know, the wind is blowing, so it's going to distract the camera, the sound. I don't know, the wind outside. Yes, so let me get comfy. So I met my husband, okay, I'll say, okay, his name's Ashton, so I might as well say it. So I met Ashton, I believe that was 2012. Yeah, I met him in 2012, and that was in Namibia. So it was my first year at uni, and if you've been on my channel for a while, you know I studied in Namibia. But then yeah, so I studied at the University of Namibia and he studied at the University of Namibia as well, so that's where we met. My story has to start in 2011. So I was first year in university. I was first year at university in 2012. But for you to understand the dynamics of the story, I have to start from 2011. So 2011, no, let me not even start from 2011. I'll start from here. I have this friend, her name, okay, I'll call her Mrs. M for this story. I'll call her Mrs. M. So Mrs. M has been one of my best friends from high school, like from 8th to 12th grade. We're in the same class, and even till now, like, we're really good. She's one of my best friends, I can say. So she was at the University of Namibia. Like, she had left Zambia. Was very Zambian. I'm Zambian. She left Zambia for Namibia to study. Like maybe she went in 2010 or 2009. I'm not sure, but yeah, somewhere there. So she had been in Namibia, and she came back from Namibia, like during, you know, like the December holidays, November, December. So during that time, I'd gone to see her because, yeah, obviously she's my friend, I missed her and stuff. So catching up, and she was telling me about how nice it is there, and she like the fees were not too expensive and stuff, so it was sounding really good. And I got excited and I went home and told my parents about it. I was like, yeah, Mrs. M is at UNAM, University of Namibia. Yeah, she was University of Namibia. I'll be saying UNAM. So I was like, Mrs. M is at UNAM and I really want to go there because it sounds like a nice school. So my parents thought it was a nice, it was a good idea, and so they said, you can pursue it and see how it goes. But now, because it was November, December, the time to register or to apply for a school place had already passed. But like, let me say, thank God. Okay, it turned out if you wanted, you could still go to the school in January during the registration and approach a faculty officer. Like the faculty, like I joined the humanities faculty, so you could approach the faculty office and tell them, I want to study here, I want to do this course and what, and you present your papers to them like right there, like on the spot. And if they like what they see, get registered and you're a student the same, just like everyone else. So she told me that could happen. So I was excited, told my mom about it, prepared and everything. And by the time she was going to school, I was going to school as well. So we traveled to Namibia together. So getting to Namibia, like everything moved good. So that was like my first year. Like, you know why I'm saying first. So I went to Namibia with my friend Mrs. M. School was interesting. Everything was so hyped. We had to do permits issues and like study permits and stuff, and we had to find a house, like accommodation. So we were up and about. That was like the first weeks in Namibia. So during that time, we had gone to register. What am I saying? To apply. What? No, we had gone to the police station to get police clearance. I wasn't getting police clearance. She was getting police clearance. Since I was first year, I had to get police clearance from Zambia. But she was a continuing student, so she had to get clearance from Namibia. So I escorted her. Yes, that's it. I escorted her to the police station to get police clearance. And we were still like looking for accommodation. I think that time I was staying with my cousin because my cousin was staying in Namibia. So when we went to Namibia, we stayed with my cousin for some weeks. So we were still looking for accommodation. And it so happened that at the police station, we met someone. I'll call her Mrs. B. Yeah, so we met Mrs. B. Yes, she is Mrs. B. I don't have permission to say their names, so I'm not going to say their names. Yeah. So we met Mrs. B at the police station, and she was talking about how she had found a house and she was looking for people like to share rooms with. So like you find maybe a 3-bedroom house, and the landlord needs 2 people in each room. So yeah, 2 people in each room. And it's safer for you if you find people that you know or someone, you know, someone familiar with you to stay in a house with, because you don't want to stay with like total strangers. You don't know how they are. So we met Mrs. B, and she and Mrs. M had known each other from, I guess, UNAM. Yeah, obviously, they knew each other from UNAM. So we got excited and decided we were going to go see the house where Mrs. B was staying, and if we liked it, we'd move in. So that's what we did. So now, the 2 important people in this story are Mrs. B and Mrs. M. So living with Mrs. B, it was cool. She's a nice person. Like, we had fun together, you know, first year, exploring a new country, visiting new places. So it was that type of, like, we really clicked and we used to do stuff together and we used to talk and stuff. But then, so yeah, when in January, February passed, so I'd registered and everything, and I was now a student at UNAM. So January, February, March, April. In April, let me say, no, it was me. Yeah, in April, I got an email from a school that had, I got an email from a school that I had applied to in China. So you know how it is when you're looking for school, you're excited and you try different places, and sometimes responses delay to come through. So I'd applied to China, then I heard about Namibia, I got excited, so I went to Namibia. But then the application to the school application I had made to China came, and it was congratulations, you have been accepted. And also my friend was in China, so she had helped me to push my papers, and it had gone quiet, so I thought I wasn't going to make it in. I remember I wanted to do engineering, funny enough, and I was accepted. But it was civil engineering, but I was accepted. And now I was at UNAM, so I was like, I didn't know what to do. So I told my mom about it. I told her, Mom, I heard from my friend, and I got the message from the Chinese university. They said I was accepted, but now I'm at UNAM, so what do I do? So my mom, like, she looked at the 2 things, like, yeah, at UNAM was doing social sciences, and then China was engineering. So she said, I like engineering better, so I think you should come back home. we do your Chinese process, then you go to China. So I was like, okay. And then, you know, it's China, and I was like, okay, China. And I was excited, engineering and stuff. So I decided to go back home. So I went to the academic, to the administrative, what do you call them? Is it administrative? Yeah, whoever. I went to the university and told them I wanted to cancel my academic year, and because I had done it before the middle of the year, they told me I would get a refund. So I went to them, told them I was canceling, and so they cancelled my academic year. Sorry guys, the light keeps shifting. Yeah, the lighting is bad. So they cancelled my academic year, and I went back. I came back to Zambia. Yeah. So this story, I started from 2011. So 2011, I was at UNAM, stayed up to April, cancelled, and came back to Zambia. But then in the end, I ended up not going to China because something happened with my money. Like, yeah, so the money I was supposed to use to pay my school fees and everything got caught into something else, and I had to sit. Obviously I was depressed, like something happened to the money I was supposed to use. I was depressed for some time, but my mom told me, no, it's fine. China would have been a bit more expensive. Obviously I can't afford it right now, but you can stay at home for these few months, and then next year you can go back to UNAM. So I was like, I liked it anyway, so cool. So yeah, so just fast forward now. So 2011 is done. I went home. I met my friends, came back to Zambia, then had to stay the whole year at home. Then 2012 came and I went back now. So 2012. I'm still besties now, yeah. Well, I've always been besties, but yeah, I'm still besties with Mrs. M. Remember, Mrs. M was the first person that I was talking about from high school and what. And yeah, so I'm still best friends with Mrs. M in 2012. And she's going back to UNAM again for, I think now she was in, it's either third, I think she was in her third year. Yeah, so obviously we traveled together. Those days was this Zamnam, I believe, Zamnam buses, like Zambia Namibia buses, and they were terrible. Like they used to, can I say that? Okay, they weren't that. You can get sued for funny things these days. Okay, they weren't that bad. They were just there. So we traveled with using the Zamnam buses from Zambia to Namibia. Got to Namibia. What happened that year? I got to Namibia, and she already had a place. Like, she was no longer staying with Mrs. B. She was staying somewhere else. So she offered for me to move, to stay with her for some weeks while I'm looking for my accommodation and such. So I was sorted, kind of. So it was either I would stay with her just for a short time, or maybe I'll talk to her landlord and become her permanent housemate or something like that. I think that was the plan. So I was back with Mrs. M. Yeah, so through the whole time, like the time I went back to Zambia, like from 2011, I was still in touch with Mrs. B. So yeah, and I must add, Mrs. B is actually from Zimbabwe. Yeah, so UNAM is like a whole, it's like a bouquet of flowers, like a flavor of Nigeria, South Africa, Botswana, Malawi, like everyone, like lots of Southern Africa and some of Nigeria and those countries. Yeah, so it's like a whole flavor of people. So Mrs. B is Zimbabwean. So yeah, 2012 now. I need to stop. I feel like I'm just everywhere. I need to collect yourself. So yeah, 2012, I'm back staying with Mrs. M. And now Mrs. M is already having classes because like she's a continuing student. But now since I came back as a first year student, I had to go through the whole process. Like it was a whole process of getting registered, choosing your modules and stuff, and making sure you've paid for everything. So I was stuck making payments and stuff for a whole week, I believe. I was trying to sort out, because you have to make sure you choose your correct modules, what you're doing when, because you don't want to be behind when things get moving. So it was like a whole, and plus the lines for first years were crazy, because imagine all the faculties and you're all registering within a period of days. So it was always like a hectic time. So it was one of these days at I'm feeling shy. Oh my gosh, yeah. It was one of these days at registration now. My first year registration in 2012. I was in one of these lines. I think I was paying my school fees. Yeah. I was paying my school fees, and the line was extremely long. It was a very long line. Like, you can imagine a university campus, and like the line goes through like corridors, bypassing like a dining hall, and almost like coming into a car park. Like, it's just a whole line of people in the sun, moving slowly. Like, the system is down, you stand there and stuff. So I was having a really stressful day. I was just standing outside alone. Like, I didn't really know anyone. My friend Mrs. M was in class, obviously, so I was just alone in the line. Excuse me, need some water. So Mrs. M was in class. I was just alone outside. So then I met Mrs. B. So I was excited. I was like, oh wow, Mrs. B, I'm back. Then, she was laughing at me. Oh, you thought you were going to China, friend? What? I was just like, you know how it is. Like, when I went home, I was all excited. I was excited and telling my friends, yeah, guys, so I'm going to China, so I'm going home and stuff. And they're like, oh, wow, enjoy yourself. But now you're like, oh, so you're back. It was that kind of thing. So she was like, welcome back to Namibia, friend, and stuff. And yeah, we were catching up. It was fun. It was like we hadn't even skipped a bit. Those friends that you meet and you're excited to see them no matter how long it has been since you last saw each other. So yeah, I saw Mrs. B there. She was asking me about my modules. Is everything okay? She checked my papers to see if I was following the steps, because we were actually given like steps to follow, like step 1, do this, step 2, do this and stuff, because you had to go like all over campus. But yeah, so she checked my stuff. She said, oh yeah, you're almost on your last step. Yeah, you'll be done soon. Let me know when you're done. Maybe we can chill and stuff. I was like, okay, cool. So I met Mrs. B, and so yeah, she knew I was back on campus. So days passed. I started with my classes. This is a long story, ne? So days passed. I started with my classes. Like, I was taking psychology, sociology, and like some government studies classes, and French as a language. So in my French class, I made my first friend. I made my first friend. I'll call her M. So I made my first friend M in French class. And yeah, I made my first friend M in French class. I don't remember where I met the other one. Was it French as well? So I met M and C. This is confusing. My first friend M, and I met my friend C. Should I call them that? Okay, so I said I met my first friend M, but I think I'll call her Mimi. Yeah, I'll call her Mimi. Her name starts with M, but I'll call her Mimi so that we don't confuse her with Mrs. M. Yeah, so I'll call her, I met my first friend Mimi and Cici in French class. So, like, Mimi is Zambian, so it was very easy to get along. You could speak Bemba, Nyanja on campus, those kind of things, but mostly Bemba, yeah. Then Cici is from Zim. Like, I was always surrounded by Zimbabweans somehow. Yeah, yeah, Cici is from Zimbabwe. Mimi is from Zambia. Cici is from Zimbabwe. So I met Mimi and Cici in French class. But obviously, I was closer to Mimi faster because obviously we had things in common. So we used to chill together, go to her house for lunch. You know, like during those classes, you have morning classes and you're hungry and you need to eat, so you go to her house, have lunch, then go back to school, kind of thing. Like she used to stay close to the school, so we'd walk to her place, then come back maybe by taxi or just walk back. So yeah. So now these are my friends. Like now I had a clique. Squad goers. Yeah, so now I had a clique. So it was me, Mimi, and Sisi. And yeah, we used to hang out together, do classes together. I think we also had, yeah, pretty much. I think we had all classes together, or maybe there was like 1 or 2 differences, but pretty much we were in the same classes most of the time. So one day, there was this place, I think it's closed. I think the name changed now, but there's this place at Unam called the Grub. There was, the name changed, I think. There was this place, it's like it's like a dining hall or just a food place on campus. So students would buy food inside, and there was like a sitting area inside and somewhere to sit, like benches outside. So I was standing outside. I think Mimi and Sisi were inside the Grub, which I said the eating place. So just say, yeah, they were inside the Grub, and I was standing outside. I don't know what I was doing. Maybe I was on the phone, I don't know. Then I saw Mrs. B. So Mrs. B was like, oh, you're done with registration, how are things? And I was telling her, no, I'm fine. I'm staying with Mrs. M now, and yeah, now I have new friends and everything is going fine. I'm enjoying myself, and yeah, everything. So she was like, oh, that's nice. And have you met any guys you like? So I was like, no, I'm new here. Why? It's like, no, I'm new here. I haven't met, like, I've been busy. I haven't been talking to guys. Like, I've seen guys, but like no one really has caught my fancy. So yeah, she laughed and was like, oh, okay, cool. So we said bye, and that day passed. And I think I saw her like a day or 2 after, again at the Grub. So we used to hang out like every after class. We at the Grub. Like it was the easiest place to sit. So now I'm at the Grub again, and I think this time I was alone. I don't know, maybe my friends were not on campus yet or what. I don't remember exactly, because yeah, that's like 2012, so I'm not clear on the details. But that day I was alone, and Mrs. B was at the Grub as well. I don't know where she was going, but yeah, she was passing by and she saw me. So then she says, funny thing, I know this guy, and he's a really cool guy. He's decent, he's kind, he's sweet, like he's a really loyal person, and he's single. I was talking to him the other day, and I told him I know someone that would be perfect for you. Yeah, so she was like, I know. So she told him, I know someone that would be perfect for you. So he was like, okay, introduce us, kind of thing. I feel like I'm so awkward at telling this story. It makes me, like, I feel shy, I don't know. Yeah, so she had told him about me, and now she was telling me about him. So she was like, I know this guy, he's really kind and stuff. I think you guys will be perfect for each other, so if you're up for it, I can introduce you. So I was like, nothing to lose, I might as well, like, it might turn out to be nice. So I thought, no, it's fine, you can introduce us, it's cool. So I think that very day, because I was still at the Grub that very day. No, I wasn't still at the Grub. I had moved to the admin block, the administration offices. I don't know what I was doing there, but I had moved to the administration building, and there was a line there. Like, for some reason, I was always in a line. I don't know what I was. I wish it was like money lines or something, like free money. Calm down. Yeah, I don't know what I was doing in a line. I was in a line. I was in a line at the administration block, and she somehow, I don't know if they had planned to meet and look for me, I don't know, but she was with the guy. So she comes up to me and she's like, hi Tash, so this is the guy I was telling you about, his name is Ashton and stuff. So I look at him like, Okay. So he was like, hi, nice to meet you. I've seen you on campus. I'm sure you haven't noticed me. I was like, yeah, I haven't really, like, I haven't, I didn't, I didn't see him. So I was like, yeah, I've never seen you before. So yeah, that's cool. It was like one of those awkward meetings, not like those first awkward, you're like, oh, okay, it was this guy. He was tall, skinny. I was just like, okay, okay, sis, yeah. So it was cool. Like when I saw him, I wasn't really like, wow, my prince in like my knight in shining armor or anything. I was like, okay, seems okay. Yeah. So she introduced us, and yeah. So I said, oh, nice to meet you, nice to meet you. Then they left. So the days that followed, as usual, I was with Sissy and Mimi, because yeah, those are my friends now. So the days that followed, every time I'm with Sissy and Mimi, he would also somehow be around where I am. So like I'll be passing in the stairs with my friends, and he's passing in the very same stairs, like going the opposite direction. Like, you know, I'm going up, he's going down. Or if I'm going into the like the dining hall, yeah, DH is dining hall, right? Yeah, the DH, where like the eating place for the students, like the hostel students and everyone. Yeah. If I'm in the dining hall, he's somehow there also. Like we always just cross each other's paths and say hi, 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 hi. So in the end, I was like telling my friends, like, this guy is so weird. Like every time I keep seeing him, it's like he's there. I don't know if he's following me or what. And my friends had also noticed. And plus I had told them about Mrs. B and her introducing me the time I was alone. So like they kept making fun of me, like, ah, you guys, who's this guy? It seems like he likes you. Like, seems like he likes you because he keeps waving at you in a weird way. Like my friends thought he was they thought he was nerdy or something. Yeah, they didn't really like him for something. They thought he was nerdy. You know, those goody guys, kind of. Yeah, they thought he was like a goody two shoes. So they're like, ah, this guy, you keep bumping into him. So it was one of those things, like for some, maybe like for a whole week, I kept meeting him in like everywhere. So at some point, I'm not sure if he asked for my number or if Mrs. B asked me if she could give him my number. So I thought it was okay, and somehow we started chatting. And one of the one of the one of these days, one of the days, guys, English is hard. A certain day. English is hard, guys. Okay, yeah, so one day at school, I think he messaged me and said like, hey, can we talk? Can we meet up and talk? So I went and met him at the Grab. I told my friends, okay, I'm coming. Like, yeah, they thought he was a nerd. So they weren't exactly excited. You know how uni is, it's your first year. So it's like you're seeing, yeah, like what I was saying, like it's a bouquet of flowers. Like you have roses, then, you know, there's dandelions and lilies, and then there's the tulips. Are these all flowers I'm saying, by the way? Yeah, so there's different types of flowers, and it's like, oh, okay, there's this one, okay, chocolate, you know, like vanilla, chocolate, what, you know, there's so many different things to look at. People from different colors, you're hearing different accents, and you're just like, oh, wow, you know, first year is like exciting. So for my friends, he was like a nerd, and they're like, oh, come on, there's other guys, like, get to know other people before you settle on this one. I was like, yeah, but then there's just something about him. I was like, let me just go see. So he texted me one day and said, can you meet at the Grab? So I lied to my friends, I think. I told them I was going, I don't even know. I think maybe I told them I had a different class or something, but then I decided to go and meet him, and we met at the Grab. He bought me some food, like feed me. Yeah, he bought me some food. We ate together, talked. It wasn't anything special, like it was just a talk, and then yeah, like I got to know him a bit more. So I was just cool. Yeah, okay, like I don't know, I wasn't like really excited, but I was like, he's a cool guy. He was just okay, I can say. So days passed, he would always like say hi, morning, what, and I wouldn't always respond. And whenever you'd second meet, some days I would like dodge him and pretend I haven't seen him and stuff like that. I don't know why, but yeah, I was dodging him until one day. So I remember my friend said he was a nerd and that I should give other flavors or other flowers, other fish in the sea a chance. It's like I'm catching a cold. So I was kind of pretending that I don't talk to him. Like they didn't know I had his number and we had been chatting and stuff. They thought I was ignoring him already, like from way back. But yeah, I was chatting with him, and one day like he asked me like, where are you? And I said, I'm just having like some food with my friends at the Grub. So yeah, UNAM had a place called the Grub, which was an eating place, and they had also the dining hall where like most of the students would be. So I told him, no, I'm at the Grub, and I think he was at the dining hall. So he came over with his friends to the Grub. So I was inside the Grub, and I see him walk in, and I'm like, oh my god, like, why is he coming? Like, my friends don't know that I'm talking to you. It's a secret. We're supposed to be keeping it undercover. My friends don't know I'm talking to you. But he came into the Grub, and he walked towards me, and I'm like, oh my, no. Yeah, so he comes towards me. He comes by our table, and my friends are like, like, and then, so my friends are looking at him, and he's also looking at us, and he goes, can I talk to you? So I excuse myself, trying to be polite, because you know I'm a nice girl, I'm friendly like that. So I was like, okay. So I stood up, but like I didn't walk out with him. I just stood up and like stood a little to the side, and he was like, I just wanted to greet you. I have something for you. Are you fine? Like, have you eaten? I was like, no, I have food already, so everything's fine. Then yeah, so he was offering to buy me food. I was like, no, I'm fine. He liked feeding me. So yeah, I told him I'm fine. Then guys, the most, I don't know if it's sweet or like it was so goofy at the time. It was like, I have something for you. So I think I was expecting maybe something like chocolate or something, but he took out a letter. So it was a letter, and I think he had written from Ashton to Natasha, and I think he had drawn like a heart or something. I remember there was a, like, you know, those little hearts, you know, like a heart drawn in pen or pencil, and inside was a little note that he had written, and he was like, yeah, please take this, read it, it's from me, just something that, you know, coming from my heart. I'm like, oh my god. Like, it was the goofiest thing. It's sweet when I think about it now, but then it was like, oh my gosh, what does that? Like, like those were things that guys used to do when I was like in primary school. You'd always find little notes in your book. Hi Natasha, I like you. Will you be my boyfriend, my girlfriend? Like, can you be my girlfriend? I like you. Do you like me too? Yes, no. You know those little notes that children used to write. I don't know if everyone used to do that, but at my schools where I went, the boys used to do that. So yeah, I was like, who does that? So now my friends were looking at us the whole time. Sissy and Mimi, they were seated and they were looking at us like, ah. Then I guess after he gave me the note, he felt like awkward. So he was like, okay, I'll see you later. And he left. So my friends saw the note and they're like, what's that? Someone wrote you a letter. So I sit down and I'm feeling embarrassed. Like, should I read this in front of them? Hey, read it. So we just read. And he was like, I think, let me try to remember. He was like, Natasha, I really like you. I've been seeing you for some time. And I actually saw you before you actually, yeah, it was something like, I saw you before you actually noticed me. I want us to talk more and stuff. I really like you. I hope you give me a chance. Something like that. Like, it was in those lines, like proper, you know, throwing his manifesto, like proper vibing me. Yeah, so the guy was vibing, you know. He's trying his luck with a girl. So So that happened, and the letter was extremely cute but goofy, a bit embarrassing, but obviously I didn't tell him that. He asked me like, what did you think of that? I said, oh no, it was nice and everything. But my friends, oh my gosh, I was bullied like the whole afternoon. Who writes letters in this day and age? Oh my god, so you, what are you going to say? Do you like him? You know, like they kept teasing me. It was so embarrassing. And you know, at that point, I already said getting like some attention from other guys and stuff, and they had guys who they liked, who they wanted me to talk to and stuff. So like, are you going to give him a chance? What of that guy? What? Don't you think that guy's cute and stuff? I was like, guys, it's just a letter. Obviously, we have I told them, like we haven't been talking, so he thought it's the easiest way to talk, like to get my attention, and he did get my attention really. But yeah, so there was that letter, and yeah, so now he asked to see me another day, and by now I was now secretly meeting up with him because my friends thought he was just like the geekiest nerdy person. Like he wears glasses, and you know, he's those guys that you can see he's always in class, he's always on campus, he's always heading to a class. Like he was those almost teacher's pet, you know, like you have a in a class, you would be the teacher's what do you call it? It's assistant, or I don't remember the term. You know, that student that the teacher has in class who they give like papers to give the others. You know, that go between the teacher. Why am I saying the teacher? The lecturer, between the lecturer and the student. So he was really that kind of guy. So you get a picture of why my friends thought like he's the geekiest, nerdiest guy on campus. Yeah. So my voice keeps going. Yeah, so he was that guy. So by now, I had known that my friends only wanted to make fun of the situation. Like they kept bullying me and stuff. But then I thought he was cute, so I kept on talking to him secretly in my inbox, like in my messages. We would message each other and stuff. So they thought I wasn't talking to him, but actually I was talking to him. So I would stay behind some days, like they would go home and I would stay on campus and just tell them, no, I have this to do or stuff. I want to see my cousins, I want to see some other friends, I want to see Mrs. M or Mrs. B. Yeah, so Sissy and Mimi would go home and I would stay longer on campus and get to talk to him and stuff. So during one of those days, like he actually told me, the first time he had ever seen me was during registration. Remember when I started my story, I said I was usually in a line somewhere. So during one of those line times, one of those times in the lines, he had seen me and I don't know, he said he was with his friends and he saw me and he made a comment like, yeah, that seems like a nice girl. I don't even know how. Like, I don't even know if I really believe him because he tells me he saw me, but I didn't notice him. But apparently that's his story. So maybe he used it as, you know, just to get points or whatever. But then he said he saw me in a line and he thought I was cute. So that's been his story. Like even till today, if I ask him, he'll say, yeah, I saw you in the line, you never noticed me, I liked you first. Yeah, he still goes to that story. So yeah, so he told me he saw me in a line and stuff, and I thought, okay, maybe he's nice and stuff. Then some weeks passed and I discovered he was in the same class, or he had maybe 4 or something classes with Mrs. M. Well, not everything. Excuse me. He had classes with Mrs. M. And remember, Mrs. M has always been one of my best friends. So one day I was telling Mrs. M, I was like, yeah, so there's this guy called Ashton. Like I see him around and I think he's nice, but then, and then she was like, oh, Ashton, no, he's actually in my class, he's a good friend of mine, he's a nice guy and stuff, real humble. And yeah, she was just giving him like lots of praise. So I was like, oh, okay. I was like, oh, that's cool, you know him as well, so yeah, you can tell me about him sometime and stuff. So I was like, yeah, days moved and then he kept texting me and telling me, hey, I'm really interested, what do you think of me, are you dating? I would actually like to do something, like let's be something together, I would like to date you and stuff. So I wasn't really sure about him. Like, I'm first year, I'm new here, and Like, you want me to jump straight into this relationship with you and I don't really know you like that. So I was hesitant. And I wasn't really sure if I wanted to date like a nerdy, well, not not nerdy, but then, you know, those serious guys. Like, he's one of the serious guys. No, coming from high school and then like the years afterwards, you see those guys, the ones who wear the caps and he's cool. He's like wearing his pants low, you know, like sagging and stuff. The guys who drink, the guys who party, driving fast cars, you know, there's all these different types of guys. And at that time you're trying to discover yourself, like, do I like serious guys? Do I like church boys? Do I like these biker boys? Do I like these boys that go to the gym all the time? Like, it was that time for me, so I wasn't really sure. So one of the days that followed, I went to the DH, the dining hall. I went to the dining hall and I was alone that day. But I think I went because I had planned to meet up with Mrs. M, my best friend, that Mrs. M. So I went to the dining hall to meet Mrs. M, and she was asking me, so how are things moving with you and Ashton? So I was like, he likes me. I think he's a nice guy, but I feel like he's too nice for me. I'm not sure if I want to date a guy that's that nice. Like, he's too nice. You know that thing? Those guys that are just too nice. Like, he's too nice. I don't even know why, but then that was just my description of him. A guy that's too nice for me, and I don't know if I want to date a too nice guy. Sometimes, you know, you used to sing those like savage sons of God. Yeah. So I wasn't really sure. I was like, yeah, he seems too nice. So then she goes, so you want to date a bad guy? What's your story? So no, when she said that, and the way she said it, she was like, you're saying he's too nice. Does that mean you're looking to date a bad guy? I was like, a bad guy how? Then she's like, you want to date a guy that plays you? Like, you know, those rough guys, those just guys that don't know what they want. I was like, I don't know. And yeah, like that's the conversation about my husband ended there. We stopped talking about it, moved to other things. But then that thought, like those words she had said, stayed in my mind. So I kept thinking about it. Like, I thought about it like for I think almost a week. He was still obviously texting me and asking me to go out on dates with him, but then I kept dodging him. Like, I was just trying to decide what I wanted. So those thoughts were just going through my mind. I was like, but really, am I looking for a bad guy? Because even the guys that now I was meeting on campus, so those guys, you know, like, there's like, hi Natasha, and you're like, hi, and you think, yeah, seems like he likes me. Then you look, okay, yeah, let me say I'm in class, right? And the guy comes, hi Natasha, how are you? Oh, I'm fine, hi. And you think he's like proper flirting with you. Then he goes to sit down, and during your class, like maybe you just turn around, like, let me see what he's doing. Like, let me check on something. And you look behind, and he's, you know how a guy is like, he's leaning in next to a girl, and you know, they look like they're flirting. That's the kind of guys, those are the kind of guys that I kept seeing on campus. Like, he talked to you in a certain way that looked like he might like you, but you turn around and you see him talking to the next girl the same way he was talking to you. So pretty much I was like, I kept seeing these guys who behave. But yeah, by that time, like, some weeks had passed. Maybe now it was like 2 months or something. Like, I kept dodging him and finding reasons not to see him. But then I was still thinking, do I want to date these boys that don't really look like they know what they want? Or do I want to date this guy that from day one has been saying, can I date you? So in the end, I was like, okay, I think I can go on a date with you, or I can show you where I live, so you can come visit me sometimes, maybe if I'm not on campus and stuff. But then just don't do it too much. Like, I like attention, but I don't like too much attention. So give me space. When I say I'm busy, I'm busy. Don't come knocking on my door. That's what I told him. And it was quite naggy. I don't know. It was one of those guys that you tell him, no, I don't want to see you. But then he decides to come by and say, no, I just want to say hi and stuff. So, you know, the beginning, like, it was really irritating. Like, he always wanted to to know how I am and stuff, like always checking up on me. And I guess from previous relationships, I had dated some really mean guys. You know those guys, you text him and he can decide not to text you for 3 days. What's wrong with some children? Yeah, you text him and he says he doesn't want to talk to you for 3 days, and you're wondering, is it over? Did we break up? Did I miss something? Like, those were my previous, like, after school, after high school and stuff. The guys that I dated during that time were those, like, just guys that will make you chase them, like really chase them, and they'll be flirting with girls and stuff. So yeah, at that point I started thinking, you know what, this guy has been saying he wants to date you, and he's been consistent. Like, he hasn't stopped telling you, and you never see him with any other girls. Like, he's always just got your name in his mouth. Why not give him a try? So I think he came to see me, and he asked me again, like, so what do you think? Because I told him I'll think about it, whether I want to date you or not. So one of those days I told him, no, you can come over, I want to talk to you. And I told him, okay, fine, I'll give you a chance. So that's how we started dating. So it was 2012, I think, May, June-ish, somewhere there. We started dating. Obviously, I had met some guys who liked me, so it was like there's a whole transition. You know, trying to tell the other guys that I was taken, like the guys who were trying to talk to me and stuff. So I had to tell them, like, no, now I'm not in those shoes anymore. I'm trying to move steady with this guy. So yeah, so that's how I met my husband. And yeah, so that was 2012, and we only got married this year in April. So 2012 to 2020, that's 8 years. Yeah, it's 8 years. 7 years, maybe 7 years. 7 years. So it's been a long time. But during that time, like, we weren't dating like throughout solid. There was a time I broke up with him because I felt like he was too much. I don't know. Yeah, yeah, you know, you're young, you don't want to be that serious too fast with a guy. So at some point I did break up with him, and I think we broke up for 2 years. But then during the time that I broke up with him, I dated like the worst. You know what it is, like a player. It's like he has a PhD in playing girls, where he's dating me and he's dating others. And those others that he's dating, I actually know who they are, but we have never met each other. Like, we've never bumped into each other and figured out that we're dating the same guy. He told me the other girl, like one of the girls, the main girl he was dating apart from me, he told me she was his vegetable supply person. Like, she used to sell him vegetables from Zambia. So I thought, like, yeah, she's just one of those girls that sell vegetables. Can you imagine? So I dated like some of the worst guys. There was that guy. Quickly found out, like within 6 months of dating him, I found out he was a cheat. Then there's another guy that okay, they were just loads of Zambian guys. Yeah, and that time it was Zambian guys that have PhDs in player tactics. Like, they were serious players. This girl. So I was like, no. And now, luckily for me, the time I stopped talking to those other guys, like the time we broke up, I said we broke up for like 2 years. The time when I decided, no, I'm done with these guys, let me just do me, figure out what I want. And yeah, it turned out he also, because within those 2 years he also started dating. Like, he dated actually his ex. I think he got back with an ex-girlfriend of his, and they tried to date. But thank God, like my guardian angels were like, you know, no, don't do it, don't last. So my guardian angels were fighting my battles for me, and that relationship didn't last. So the time I was now single and deciding to move on with my life and look for something more serious, something more committed, he was also single and looking for something committed as well. So we ended up chatting one day, and I'm like, "Are you dating? No. Are you dating? No." And I'm like, "Okay." So we started chatting again. We decided to take it back to to wash our hands of like the previous stuff that had gone on in our relationship, the things that made us break up the first time, and we decided we're more mature now. Some time has passed. Let's just start on a new slate, and that's how it was. It was a whole lot of stuff because actually during my time, so I started studying at UNAM in 2012, but then in 2014, I believe, I came back to Zambia because school is expensive. So I had to come back, work for some time, then go back, and then I completed like some years after I was supposed to. But money issues and stuff. Growing up, you just have to do what you have to do to reach where you want to get. So I had to come back, work for some time, save up the money, then go back and finish. So during my whole time now, after we reconciled, we got back together, we stayed together for the rest of the years. So when I count the years that we've been dating, I can actually say we've been dating for maybe 6 years solid. So I would discount those 2 years when we broke up. So 6 years solid. And now, like he was in Namibia for some time, but he decided to move to Zambia, and we got married. Obviously, April was Corona time. The time things with Corona were... Where's my voice going? The time in April, Corona was really a huge thing. Okay, it's still an issue right now, but then I feel like things are more, I don't know, things are being tolerated a bit more now. But then at that time, we had, how African marriages are, lobola and stuff, and wanted to have our wedding, but then Corona happened, so it was quite clear that we wouldn't be able to have our big or can I say white wedding? Yeah, again, the white wedding. We wouldn't be able to have our big white wedding because there were restrictions, like only 50 people, I believe, weddings of 50 people, and all the borders are closed. And my husband is from Zimbabwe, so it became pretty clear from the beginning that his family wouldn't be able to travel to come for a wedding. So we just decided, let's just get married. So we went to the council, or should I say to the courthouse or to the council, and just got married there. And as things clear up, because now the borders are still closed. I don't know if they're open or if they're taking, I don't know, but people are not really traveling as much. So we decided to just get married, because after all, the most important thing was for us to get married, because we've been together for some time and we know what we wanted. We wanted to be in each other's lives, so we decided to get married, and then later on we can have our big wedding or whatever we decide to do. So so we got married on the 27th of April after so many years. And now, like, Mimi and Sissy even laugh, like, you guys are still together now? Like, it's hilarious, because the way it started was just like a big joke. But I'm Mrs. K now, and happily married, enjoying my first months as a married woman. I don't regret anything. He's my best friend. And so that's the story about how I met my husband. So lots of things happened, like in between, disagreements and stuff, but it was a whole learning process. We grew from there. We learned about each other, knew what we want. And even for me, the time that we had broken up and I dated those douchebags, like, it was a time of growth for me, where I understood what I can tolerate and can't tolerate in a guy, and exactly what I wanted for myself in the long run. Like, if I was going to be someone's wife, what type of man do I need to be with, where I can say I can see myself with this guy for the next 50, 60, I don't know, God willing, whatever years I have on earth. What kind of guy would I see myself with for that long. And for me, he was the guy that I could picture myself with for that long and be genuinely happy, because I love the person that I am when I'm with him. So yeah, thank you for staying for my story time. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope I didn't lose you or talk too much. Like I was all over the place. Like I promise I'll improve on my storytelling. But I hope you enjoyed my story time. Please subscribe, comment, share. Like let's have a conversation in the comments. Yeah, I'll respond to everyone who messages me. Subscribe, do the most. And yeah, if you want to hear any more stories, like feel free to mention, and I would do likewise. I would do the needful, not likewise. I'll do the needful. Yeah. So yeah, thanks for watching my story. And thanks for the support, guys. Bye.